like I just mentioned, we have a lot of young producers, and I think we're all curious to know where it all started for you as a producer. And probably the biggest question, did you download your programs legally?
Yes, I did. Yes.
Please explain.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I can tell a bit about how I started. Yeah, I started actually when I was, I think, 8 or 9 years old. And the funny thing is, like, I started so young, so like, I think that's the most important reason. I think I started when I was 8 or 9 years old. Yeah, I heard Fade Into Darkness from Avicii. There was a track for me that really got my attention, and that got my interest into dance music. Avicii was also a big inspiration for me at that time, because his melodies and stuff. I think all of you have like someone or maybe a track that got you into the music, and yeah, for me that was definitely Avicii. And so I started like looking up tutorials how to produce your own music. Yeah, I think when I was 9 or 10, I downloaded the FL Studio 9 at that time. Yeah, I basically just started messing around with some sounds and just checking out tutorials and stuff. And then that's how I discovered like you could make your own. You could really do your own thing and put your emotions into it, and that's what I love about music.
And when you were 14, you came to Dancefair as well. Where we probably all start for you, so for all of you here, and who are dropping that demo. You went to a lot of labels, like different labels, to drop your demo.
Yeah, I was in 2015. Yeah, I was 14 years old at that time, and I also went to Dancefair. Yeah, it was an amazing day. For me, it was really fun to see the reactions of the labels, because at that time I made my music, but I was actually not putting anything online. I was just keeping it for myself, because I was really insecure about my music and I was scared for the reactions. And I think most of you also recognize the feeling, because it's pretty something to show your tracks to like people who have such a lot of experience in the scene. And yes, I went to all kinds of labels, and the reactions were pretty good. At the end of the day, I came to you to the Mixmash stand.
I remember.
And I just asked, like, can I show my demo? But the fun thing was that you needed to pre-register, right? Like
pre-register, exactly.
Yeah. So at first I couldn't show my demo to Raymond. So I had to wait like for half an hour, and I was really lucky, because there was like one place in between the schedule, and that's how I showed my demo to Raymond, and he liked it, and from there on we worked further together.
And how was that experience for you, Raymond? Because obviously you were the one.
That's so cool to see. So I think that was 2 years back. And Mark came in, super shy, super nervous to show his demo, which makes sense because, well, it's a very vulnerable place to be, you know, showing your creativity to somebody and then being scared to be rejected. But from the moment I heard it, there was something in it, like so many potential. Like I could already tell like the ear he has for like melodies and sound design and everything, and of course, we had to put like the right accents to it still, but you could already tell that there was like tons of potential there. And even because the room was so noisy, because I think they were doing seminars in the same room where we were doing the demos, and but even through all the noise, I could hear like Mark's potential. So that's some crazy potential, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. So basically, that's where it all started for you at Dancefair. That's why you're probably going to be a big inspiration for some of these guys. So from that point on, how did the communication come along with Mixmash Records?
I think it was February 2015 when I went to Dancefair, maybe March. I showed Raymond my demo, and he was like, he said like it's the best demo of the day, and I was really
which is true though.
Yeah.
I don't tell that to everybody.
Yeah, it was a really big compliment. So I went home, and I went to school, and it took a few months, but after a few months, he replied to me and said like, we want to work with you. I want to try to get you ready for a release. So because at that time my ideas, were good in his opinion. But yeah, the mixing part, which I still think is like a really hard part in the process of making tracks. Yeah, I just sucked at mixing. I just sucked at mixing.
No.
I really sucked.
Grown a lot, man. Like really a lot.
The ideas were there, and I think I was like it was like the summer of 2015 when we really started working together. I sent him a few ideas. He said like, this one I like, this one I don't like. Yeah, from there on, we were really like trying to learn as much as possible and trying to improve as much as possible in a short time. That's what we did, and I think it was the end of 2015 when I made Venture, my first track, and I sent it to him, and yeah, it was like already really hyped up about the track, but yeah, again the mixing sucked, so yeah, it needed some work.
And did you get help from Mixmash with mixing?
I did the mixing myself, okay. But the mastering, yeah, the mastering was done by someone else. Yeah.
And Raymond, obviously you are the A&R manager at Mixmash Records. Is this normally the procedure you go through to sign a new artist?
Well, not necessarily, because with Mark we started like completely from the bottom, right? Because I don't think you had like your professional like social accounts ready at that point. So we really got in from the beginning because of the crazy potential we saw in him on all levels, you know. So most of the time we only get in when there's a little bit more material to work with, both on like a musical level, like a couple of tracks ready, but also like everything around it is built a bit more. But we just wanted to be part of this cool story, you know, which it really is, and it just keeps on rolling, I guess.
Okay, thank you. And now talking about you as a producer, you've got different types of producers. You've got the types that start a track and finish it immediately, and you've got producers like most of you probably know, start with different sounds and have like 20, 30 different tracks before finally finishing one. How's the process for you as a producer?
Yeah, I think it's hard to say because I'm actually the kind of producer that makes like 20 ideas and then maybe finishes none of it, and then yeah, the next month does the same. Like I kind of not finish a lot of my tracks, which is I think a bad thing. But I'm more of like I need to be sure that the track which I'm working on really has enough potential to do good in the charts on socials and in the clubs, depending on which track. But yeah, I think I learned from Raymond also that it's sometimes good to try to not give up so soon on a track, because what I think and what most producers also know, that when you work so much on a track, you get like you get stuck on it, and you don't have the feel of like the excitement of the track anymore.
Just get bored of it, right?
Yeah, exactly. So it's actually a funny thing, because where we will talk about later on my single Lots to Say, I had like 4 or 5 different versions, and at one moment I was just like, I don't want to work on this track anymore, but Raymond said to me like, keep on working on this track because it has much potential. Maybe try to do something new with it, a new version, a completely different version, and it kind of worked out well. So I don't really have a standard way of working, but as a tip, I'd say really make sure that the track has enough potential, and don't give up on a track too soon.
Okay, thank you. And you've got a couple of releases now on Mixmash Records. One of the famous ones are Venture and No Mercy.
Yes.
Obviously, they did like pretty well. If you look at the Spotify plays, I think it was No Mercy that even got to #1 in Thailand, or Taiwan, sorry.
In the viral chart of Taiwan on Spotify.
Oh, right, thank you. So, and of course, Laidback Luke played Venture at the Ultra Music Festival in 2016.
Yes.
I'm not sure if our technical supplies is there with the clips. Okay, so we've got a clip now. There we go.
That was cool.
Yeah, it still gives me goosebumps watching that clip. I mean, I can only imagine how that must be for you. That your track got played in front of so many people at such a big event.
Yeah, it's crazy. I remember that I was. It was like I think yeah, late in the night, like 2 p.m. or a.m. What's I don't know.
It's 2 a.m.
2 a.m. 2 a.m. Yeah,
Right.
yeah. And because of the time difference in America, and yeah, I was watching the live stream, and I didn't know for sure that Luke was gonna play it. So I was just watching the live stream, and then yeah, Luke dropped it, and I dropped my laptop. It almost fell. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, there was one feeling. Yeah, the first feeling for me that was like, this is crazy to get your track played at an venue like that or an event like that. It's crazy.
Yeah, we can only imagine. Or anyway, me for certain. So how do you stay inspired to keep on making these banger tracks?
Yeah, that's a hard one because I actually don't know myself. But what I do, I just try to do some listen to some other genres. But I think a lot of producers are saying that. I don't really have a tip on that, but it's a crazy thing that I do is I look up like clips of like cities and because that has some kind of feel to it, like a movie clip or something. Because that yeah, I think music combined with video always yeah, delivers something extra, and that's where I got my inspiration from. But yeah, I don't really have like one tip where you can get your inspiration from. Sorry.
So if you keep looking at Adventure as a track, it did pretty well. Like Layback Luke played it at some of the biggest events in the world. And even here in Holland, it got quite some attention with even Giel Belen calling you up in the morning. Can you tell us something about that experience when you were on the Dutch radio?
Yeah, Giel Belen is a famous Dutch radio DJ at 3FM. And yeah, it was like, I think 6 a.m. 6. It's like in the morning. Yeah, and
6 a.m. in the morning.
Yeah, it's hard. But
yeah, if you just say 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, but it was like 6 a.m. and yeah, I got a phone call. I was called by the people who work for Giel, like. You're Mark Villa, right? Yeah, he wants to talk to you in 10 minutes. And I was like, it was a normal school day. Yeah, I woke up with that call. It was crazy, and I needed to be ready in 10 minutes. So that was kind of hard. You can hear by my voice, and I'm shaking. Like it's pretty awkward, but yeah, it's cool. Yeah, we talked about my track getting played at Ultra, which yeah, I think yeah. That's something we talked about, as I remember, and yeah, that was really special for me also to
and how were the reactions from your friends and family? Because I can only imagine, like, you knew just 10 minutes before, so you couldn't tell anyone. But I can imagine that friends and family were sitting in the car listening and waking up.
It was
and waking
funny
up to your voice.
Yeah. It was funny because I actually got some texts from some classmates or just some friends that they say like you have these clocks, right, with the FM function on it. Then you can wake up to the radio playing. Yeah, exactly. And they said like, yeah, I woke up with your voice on the radio. It was crazy. It was a pretty random thing, but yeah, it's all new to me.
Yeah, I can imagine. And for you as an A&R manager, and obviously at Mixmash, how do you celebrate like these achievements? Are those still achievements for you guys, or was it just becoming normal?
Well, this one, obviously, Mark was still 14, so we had to get the Jip and Janneke champagne. So how do we celebrate that? Yeah, it's a big win. Well, actually, at the time when this was happening, we were in Miami, and it was all a bit surreal because I guess just a few hours before, we were in the club, and we sent a video to Mark where Luke played the song Venture. It was at Story, Super You and Me show. And then after that, I think it was only a few hours after that or something that he called you up. So it was so weird, like we just came out of the club and then that was happening. It was so weird because we figured it only happened there, but then that triggered a total different reaction in which you got called out of bed. So actually, yeah, kind of a weird thing how stuff can happen at Fest. I guess that's due to the internet and stuff. But yeah, funny thing.
Cool. And you've got your release coming up.
I got a new track coming out the 13th of March. It's lots to say. It's a collab together with Keanu Silva and F51. And yeah, I'm super excited about this track. It's kind of something different from the stuff I did before, as you told, like Venture and No Mercy. But yeah, the thing about this track was I just wanted to do something different, and it's kind of a radio-orientated track. So it's not really a track for like being played on the big venues with the big drops. No, that's not something for this track. But what I wanted to do is like. That maybe be advice for other producers as well. As like I kind of got like known for the style like in Venture and No Mercy, and what I wanted to do is like I didn't want to do something completely different, but I also didn't want to do the same thing over and over, because I already got comments of people saying like No Mercy's Venture is so much like Venture. It's almost similar, and I wanted to do something different, but still you could hear my signature in it. And I think that's the melody thing, like the melodies you can sing along to and the catchy things. So yeah, as a producer, I also give an advice, if I may, then that you find your own signature and try to develop that throughout the time. And I think this was actually the first track. I already tried it like several times in other tracks, but this was the first track I really were confident about. So.
And being so young, I can only imagine it's hard for festivals to put you on certain spots because of your age restriction.
Yeah.
It's like the normal guests can't even come when they're under the 18, but yet you still play at festivals like Tomorrowland. How is this for you? Because now we've been talking about the producing part, but obviously there's a lot more ways to be a DJ producer. So how was this for you to play at such an event?
Yeah, it was crazy for me. It was I was actually as a warm-up act, so it was already some people, but not too many. But it actually during my set it became crowded. It became more crowded. I think. Yeah, it was actually a new experience for me, because before before Tomorrowland I didn't do any shows. I just was producing in my bedroom, and those were like the first moments I really, got out of my studio and really were doing something outside of that. So.
And did you practice at home to DJ?
Yeah, I do have decks at home, and I practice a lot. But Raymond knew someone, and we kind of prepared for the gig, because I knew how to DJ, but it was so basic and not good at all. So we needed to get the basics right. I'm definitely not a good DJ. I don't see myself as a good DJ, but yeah, just anyway. The basics. Yeah.
I don't agree though, but
yeah.
So hopefully in the near future you'll be as good as Laidback Luke is on the decks.
Yeah, maybe. I do want to invest more. I do want to invest more time into DJing, but I think it's kind of like a hard subject, and I have so much respect for Luke that he owns that subject.
Exactly. Have you got any bookings coming up this summer?
Yeah, I have some cool bookings coming up. Also some big festivals, but I'm gonna keep that quiet for now.
Sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, we promised the people that we're going to give them a sneak preview of your new track.
'Cause you got lots to say. You think that you know me so well. 'Cause you got lots to say. I'll take the back seat, I know, yeah, you're always right. Once again, I'll admit that I'm wrong. And I hate to keep bringing up all these old things. I just don't think you know what you want, no. You got lots to say, though. I should be listening. got lots to say, 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 lots to say. Checked out when you had lots to say.
Yeah, I think that deserves a round of applause. So congratulations on this release. It sounds, yeah, it's got a great summer vibe to it. I think that rounds up my questions so far. So now we'll be taking some questions from the audience for anyone who's interested.
Yes, hello, my name is George. I'm from Greece, living in the UK. I'd like to keep it short. Is the age factor a restriction for someone that wants to break into the EDM industry and follow your path? Because you're young yourself and I'm almost double your age.
Hey man, yeah, it's... I don't really think that age matters because like maybe I'm lucky that I started this young, but like for me it's all about the music and stuff. And yeah, sometimes I talk about it with people and they say like it helps that you're so young, and I also think like the fact that I'm here is also like connected with that I'm so young. But that for other people, I wouldn't say like you're 30 and you can't be a good DJ anymore or producer. Just do your thing and just try to work as hard as possible. Because I also I started when I was 10, and when I was 13 I was kind of just doing day and night productions. I was so into producing, and I spent so much time. And I think that if you just try to work as hard as possible, it's possible for anyone. So I don't think that age matters.
I've got a good example about a DJ producer in the hardstyle. Maybe you've heard of him. He's called Noise Controllers. He started when he was 27. And he has turned out to, well, he is probably the best hardstyle producer out there today. So it's never too old to start. But just like Mark said, just make sure that you've got the drive and will just to get there. So do we have any other questions?
Hi. How do you start your projects? Do you start with a beat, or do you browse through sample libraries and then make chords or something like that?
Yeah, it's actually a fun question, man. It's super random because with this one I got the vocal, and I basically just started with some stems from the different versions. So first I had like a track that was kind of similar to Venture and stuff, as you heard before, but that didn't feel right. So I took a bit of the elements and I added some new elements. I think like in my tracks the catchy melody is the most important part. So I think I mostly start with that, but sometimes I also start with chords or a random fun sample I downloaded from internet. Samples can also work really good. I think you also know like you have like free sample sites such as Looperman and stuff. Sometimes they have like really shitty samples, but sometimes there are also some really good samples. So I'd really advise that.
Did you like put the school on the side, or could you keep focused on both things?
Yeah. Thanks for this question, because I kind of wanted to tell something about it, because I think most of you, more like the young and old producers also, like school and music and work and music is like really hard to combine if you really want to put as much time in it. Because what I had is I wanted to divide the two things, but what happened with me was like I kind of was so busy, and still am so busy with music in my head. I'm basically, I think you can recognize that, like 24/7 busy with music and stuff. So school has been like a tough thing for the last two years. But I'd say like I can't really say like put school aside or because I can't say that. But I live by the fact that just like follow your dreams and I think passion is the most important part. But I also understand people who say like school is really important. You need a degree to get somewhere. So I can't really say anything about that. But just follow your passion and school is not a good thing of me. So that I think you recognize that. Yeah.
Hi, I wanted to ask what's your purpose or motivation for making music?
My purpose, like my motivation. I don't really have. I kind of just making, and this just sounds a bit like a pussy maybe, but I wanted to make people happy with my music, and I think like when I try to make happy tracks as this one, sometimes I get private messages from people like, oh, you really helped me through tough times, and that makes me motivative. But it's more like just I love music so much and I love producing so much, and I just love that. And recently I've been doing some fun shows, and I also love that. I found out that I also love DJing. My purpose is really just to keep producing and make sure that more people know of my name and get to know more people. So that's my purpose, I think.
Do you have like an end goal, like I want to play on your map, or I want to have my track on all the radio stations, or just worldwide my track on #1 everywhere? Or what's your end goal?
Thank you for your question. I think my end goal would be, it's crazy because my end goal was actually play at a festival like Tomorrowland and stuff. So that came really early for me, but it was crazy because I wasn't so. I'm not really well known, but I had the chance to play there, and I was really thankful for that. And that's already a dream came true for me. But that's not that I'm now like I have done that, and that's cool. I'm basically like I want to achieve more. I want to make sure that more people know me. I want to have a radio track like this, which is coming out. I hope it's gonna do well on radio. I'm not sure, but let's see. Ultra would be really cool. Some live goals. I still have some live goals that I want to achieve. Yeah.
So, how many hours per day do you actually work on your music?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'd say, it's kind of crazy, but I almost like when now I'm still in school. And I'm also gonna try to do Herman Brood Academie, and I think most of you know that. I think when I get home from school, I just produce, and sometimes I work late at night because at night I really have a lot of inspiration. It's kind of hard to say. I don't really have like a number, but I work a lot. I work I'm kind of a workaholic, as you call it. Yeah.
A young workaholic.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that's all what we've got time for. So a big round of applause for Raymond and Mark Villa.